It's no surprise that so far 2022 has not been the best year, like so far. And if 2021 and 2022 were any indicators that 2022 might have been good, I mean, we were kind of close, but not. We weren't there. We were not there. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the hottest game on YouTube, and I'm talking hot. I'm talking spicy hot. Today we're talking about Elden Ring. You've heard of this game. You've seen this game plastered over Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all across the internet. People are talking about it. Reddit posts on making Reddit posts on it, making guide videos, lore videos, build videos, cheese setup videos. You name it, Elden Ring will be there. It's no surprise that this game is regarded as the best game of 2022, and we're not even halfway through 2022. We're only 3 months into the new year, and we've already got a game that's already claiming to be the quote unquote best game of this year. And correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't God of War like Ragnarok come out this year? I think it either comes out this year or next year. I'm not sure. But those are some bold claims. So let's start my honest review of Elden Ring with briefly touching the story. And the story is very, very deep, but I'm gonna just give you the brief synopsis of what the game trailers tell you. Your objective as a Tarnished is to become the Elden Lord and obtain the Elden Ring. That's it. That's about as far as I know. I don't know enough about the game to give a full synopsis on the story. That's as much as I know. Now, let's cut from the story and go to the gameplay. So, did you like Demon Souls? What about Dark Souls 1 through 3? Bloodborne? Sekiro? The remake of Demon Souls? Literally, Elden Ring is literally a combination of all the From Software games that have come before it. It's like a cacophony of just a lot of the ideas from those games. From Demon Souls and Dark Souls, we got the dodge roll mechanic, the parry mechanic, the backstab mechanic, and the flasks. Like the Estus flask in Dark Souls. We have flasks like in Dark Souls. Bloodborne, we have that aggressive. You could have that aggressive gameplay that a lot of the bosses in Bloodborne had. Some of the bosses in Elden Ring have that too. And if you're wondering what part of Sekiro could have possibly made it into this game, well, it's the jump button. No, literally, I kid you not. Elden Ring is the first non-Sekiro game in the Soulsborne series that has a dedicated jump button that doesn't require you press the stamina button twice, the dodge button twice when you're already holding it. Literally, it doesn't call for that. The stamina button is its own thing. The X button literally is your jump button. I kid you not. It took me I want to say a few hours during my first playthrough to get the hang of it. But now that I know that I could jump, now that I have jumping down, the most basic thing in a video game, wrap your head around that one. This game really, oh man. Let's switch topics now. I'm getting a little too excited. Let's talk about the open world aspect of Elden Ring. My God, this game is so beautiful. Jeez, the open world, it's so vast. You have no borders. You can go, well, I'd say you kind of have borders because you do need certain items to progress in certain parts of the world. But for that opening hour, you could literally go anywhere. You could go northwest to the Karen Matter. You could go northwest to the Karen Matter to get like one of the most broken weapons in the game. You could go far to the east over in Caelid, where I wouldn't recommend newcomers go over there because that place is torture. I just at level 70 a day, and I'm still struggling over in that place. You literally can go anywhere in that first opening. The first opening hours of the game. Then that's just crazy. No other From Software game has ever allowed you to really... Well, here's the thing. You could technically go anywhere you went in the previous games, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 through 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. But you had to manipulate some sort of glitch in order to be able to do it. Elden Ring, you don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that unless you're trying to go to one of the harder dungeons, I guess. I'm not sure, but Elden Ring is it's so open world. And this is both a pro and a con. We'll talk about the cons in a little bit. While we're on the topic of gameplay, we'll talk about the pros and cons of the gameplay. So we'll get there. Let's stick with the pros. Exploring. Literally, the world, like I said before, the world is your oyster. You can go wherever you want. So exploring feels so rewarding when you find like one of like the mini dungeons in this game. There are a ton of dungeons in this game. Like I'd say like they're not like main dungeons like from Legend of Zelda. Think of them like mini dungeons. You know, like the ice cavern from Ocarina of Time, or the Pirate's Fortress from Majora's Mask, stuff like that. Yeah, these are like mini dungeons, and if this is your first Souls game, I highly recommend you start by taking out all the early game dungeons over in the Limgrave area. It'll get you. Those dungeons will get you right. They will get you accustomed to the gameplay. Trust me on this. They really will. Next up in the game, boss battles. Next up on this list, boss battles. My God, the boss battles. Jesus. Some of these bosses literally put up so much of a fight. Even a lot of the mini bosses in some of the early game dungeons. Trust me. There is one boss in particular in the Weeping Peninsula. If you played Elden Ring before, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But there are a lot of mini bosses in here that will kick you, or that will beat you down. Trust me. Elden Ring may look pretty and it may be open world, but this is still a From Software game, and From Software games are known to kick you in the balls and not really care about it. So if you want to survive Elden Ring, you're gonna have to get really good at the controls that you have to deal with. 2, learn how the game works. 3, manipulate the bosses to your advantage. That's literally all you have to do. And 4, you can cheese, but you know, that's if you're not feeling confident, but who knows? Who cares? And thirdly, customization. My gosh, this game, like, I've never had a problem with any of the From Software games being uncustomizable. Like Bloodborne, you can customize your character to your liking. You could have a strength, a blood tinge build, strength, skill build, skill, blood tinge, skill, arcane, all that stuff. In this game, you have classes. Do you want to be a hero that hits hard? Do you want to be a mage? Do you want to be an astrologer who's basically a spellcaster? Do you want a samurai that's proficient at longbows and katanas? Or do you want a vagabond, a knight that is good with swords, short swords and shields? The world, this game is full of infinite possibilities for customization. You could do basically whatever build you want. Do you want to inflict poison damage, rot damage, death damage? Yes, that's a thing. You can inflict instant death on somebody. I kid you not. Do you want a bleed build, a frost build, a magic build, a pure unadulterated strength build? Do you want to be like Guts from Berserk? You can do that. You have the tools at your disposal to do just that. All it takes is just a little exploring, finding the weapon that suits you, and going on about your life. And that right there is all the list. And I could list many more pros, because there are a ton of pros in this game, but I'd like to start tackling the cons. And our first con in the gameplay section is the open world itself. Now, like I said before, the world of Elden Ring is so vast. And that's to its health, that's to its benefit and detriment. If a first-time player who's never seen a Souls game, never played a Souls game, picks up Elden Ring, they are going to be overwhelmed with just the amount of freedom they have. They're not going to know where to go first. They're not going to know what to do first. Now, a lot of new players, myself included, when I first started playing, are going to come out of the cave of knowledge, see the tree sentinel, and make an immediate beeline for them, get beat, and probably quit. But no, you don't have to do that. Literally, you don't have to do that. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened to a lot of players who said that Elden Ring is way too hard. And I know about hardness, the bosses. Now, a lot of the bosses, as I said, in this game will basically kick you in the balls and not say sorry. They literally will. Like I said before, this is a From Software game. From Software games are known to be tough. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, those games were known to be tough. Right? When you're first running through them, the game will kick you in the balls. How many times do I have to say this? This game is going to kick you in the balls, and you are going to just have to deal with it. But a lot of players don't want to do that. They don't want to get good. They don't want to get good and learn how the game works. They don't want to do that. They want to just get in there, beat it, and then leave. From Software games aren't built for that. They are time sinks. The game wants you to learn, and you're gonna have to learn. I want to use a boss as an example. Radon, Star Scourge Radon. I have a clip of him. You're gonna be watching coming up, but I want to use him as just an example. And I looked up a top 10 ranking boss list of Elden Ring. Radon is seen as the second hardest boss, and I could see why. After having taken down Radon myself, I can see why he is literally probably like the second hardest boss in the game. Only if you know how to cheese him. Now, a lot of you players that get to Radon are not gonna know how to cheese him unless you look up a guide. Which is why if you are a new player, I highly recommend looking up some strategy guide to help you get started. I literally do. If this is your first From Software game, I would recommend you get used to the game first, and then when you feel like you're ready, start looking up some guides, and then start taking some harder things, starting to level up. And I think there's only one more con, and then this really is more of like a nitpick for me than anything else, but the stun lock in this game, man. The stun lock in this game, my god. Even if you have a high poise armor, the stun lock in this game is crazy. One slip up and you are toast. Literally, if the enemies are small and fast, like those goddamn dogs and rats, I hate them so much. Post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD. God, I thought the rats of Bloodborne were annoying. No, the rats in this game, my god, the wolves and the rats in this game are a plague. Oh my gosh, but I'm getting sidetracked here. Stun locking in this game is really bad. So if you don't know about poise, think of Sekiro and the posture meter. The more poise you have, the less likely you are to stagger. But sometimes that doesn't even matter. You could have high poise and still get staggered. Literally. You could have high poise and still be staggered to death. Literally. So, literally be careful with your poise. Make sure your poise is up. Make sure your endurance is up. Please do that. And going on from there, there's not really much else to talk about. I already talked about exploration, the combat, and the fact that there's a lot of armors in here. Like, the heavier the armor, the better the poise. But the heavier the armor, the more you weigh. Yeah, like in Dark Souls, you have weight in this game. Your weapons weigh, your shields weigh, your armor weighs. The little medallions that temporary that give you like slight boost to your health, stamina, magic meter, that blue bar right there in the middle of the red bar that on top, that's the health, and the green bar, that's the stamina bar. You see all those little blocks underneath the stamina bar? Those are essentially buffs. You can buff up your health, buff up your attack, buff up everything on your character, all your stats, as long as you find like the specific medallions for those set stats. And trust me, this helps. Okay, exploring around the world of Elden Ring helps in making your character, making you feel like you're making progress, and making you feel stronger. So with all that being said, my closing thoughts on this game. Do I think this game is harder than Sekiro and Bloodborne? Kinda, yes. This game is frustrating. It's frustrating, okay? Every From Software game starts off frustrating when it's your first initial playthrough. But trust me, on repeat playthroughs, when you figure out what you're doing, this game, like all the others, is gonna be a piece of cake. So I'd say for any new players getting into this game for the first time, or into the From Software series for the first time, take your time and just learn. If you want, I recommend playing Bloodborne. I'd recommend playing Bloodborne, Demon Souls, or Dark Souls first before doing this. But is Elden Ring the hardest From Software game I played? So far, no, it's not really that difficult. It's just very frustrating, but it's a fun type of frustrating. And that's my honest review. This game deserves the title of being Game of the Year. Literally does. It is by far the best game of this year so far, and I stand with it. And I hope I convinced you guys enough to try this out for yourself. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video very, very soon. Love you guys so much. Peace.